Hey guys, welcome to this episode of Kit Corner. Today I'm going to be talking a little bit about go bags. Now go bags are on a lot of people's minds, what with everything going on in the world. But exactly what should you have in your go bag? There's a lot of pre-packaged kits out there that you can purchase, but my recommendation is you assemble your own so that way you're familiar with it and you get exactly what you need. Now, what your go bag looks like and what you put in it is going to be determined by what your specific needs are. Now, I'm a police officer, I'm also an EMT, and I'm in search and rescue. So my go bag is set up to mirror and reflect those specific needs. Now the very first and simplest part of any go bag is the actual bag itself and what you use to put your stuff in. I use the 511 push pack because it really works for what I need. It's relatively inexpensive. It's not very big, but yet it has enough capacity for all the stuff I want. It has multiple carry options too, with the ability to be attached to a belt and then also, of course, the shoulder strap. It's small enough though that I can shove it into my patrol bag or my patrol duffel, so I can take it with me as like a medical kit too, and not necessarily have it as a separate bag. So lots of options there. Now my bag has quite a bit of equipment on it, so that way I really don't have to root around for anything when I need it. It's kind of all right here. I've added a radio pouch right here where I hold one of my Baofeng UV5RA little ham radios. I'm also a ham radio operator, but this radio additionally is programmed with the search and rescue frequencies so I can communicate with SAR teams out in the field. My radio just fits in there, and there's enough room that I can put spare batteries or extra equipment in there if I need to also. The radio has a handset that I've got plugged in and routed up the shoulder strap onto this shoulder cushion, so when I'm wearing it, I can carry my bag and my radio is easily accessible. That's another feature I like about this bag, is it's very modular so I can add stuff to it wherever I need. Up here on this MOLLE segment, I've attached a pouch with my multi-tool. Multi-tools are really good to have in a go bag because they're just, like they say, multi-tools. You can use them for everything. This is my original CPR kit. I've since gotten a better one because this one has the really basic like plastic face shield, and I've got a full face mask in here, but I still keep it as redundancy. Key systems are things that are really critical. I like to have redundancy, that way if one fails or I use one up, I have a backup. I also store in this little pouch gloves. Since I'm a medic, I want to have lots and lots of gloves. I don't want to get body substance issues with blood or feces or vomit or anything. I don't want any of that stuff touching me, so I want to have lots and lots of gloves. This pouch was originally a cell phone pouch, but I found that it fit perfectly for this kit. Now moving on, another thing I love about this bag is it's got this zipper compartment right here. Open that up, and there's enough room for a full-size firearm. Now note, this is an airsoft replica, it's not an actual firearm. But it is an actual size of a 1911 pistol, which is a full-size handgun, 45 caliber, and it just slides right in there. It's great for concealment, and great just to have that extra security with you. This compartment up here is great for sunglasses, but I personally use it for a variety of things, including carrying an extra magazine, or sometimes carrying like my iPod or a notepad, things that I want to have easy access to. I've got compartments on either end of my bag as well. This compartment is currently empty, but when I'm out in the field, this is where my GPS sits. So my GPS is currently in my search and rescue vest, but I like to have a compartment so I can throw it in this bag and just have everything all contained in one bag. I could also put like a water bottle or something in here too if I wanted. Now this compartment over here, I have a tactical flashlight. Fairly good sized light. It has multiple settings. And the best thing about it is this light, you don't have to fully click it on to get light. See, I just press the button and I get light. For tactical situations, this is the kind of light you want, so that way you don't have to cycle through the settings to turn it on and off. You can just hold the button down and you're good to go. Now here on the front of my bag, this compartment, I have a little pocket guide to working with life flight helicopters. If I'm out in the field and we have to medevac a patient, I'm not going to remember all the specific nuances of working with a bird, so this helpful little pocket guide is really beneficial. Also, when I'm out and about, this compartment is usually where I put my badge and my handcuffs, so they're readily accessible if I need them. On the front here, I have my little medical insignia because this bag is primarily medical, and of course the name tape. Opening the bag up, you can see I've got it jam-packed with stuff. This is my blood pressure cuff. Being an EMT, I need to be able to take people's blood pressure. It fits right easy on top here and also helps keep the other stuff in the bag from coming out. Now this main compartment is where I have all of my medical equipment. I've organized my medical equipment into bags based on type. This is my bandaging and gauze bag. So if I need to do some bandaging work, I can pull this out and I'm ready to go. This has emergency first aid guide in it, so if there's something in there that I need to reference, I can take a look at that. And it's got conventional band-aids for smaller injuries. Additionally, I carry one of these amazing little LAP Police Gear pocket trauma kits. These are kind of down and dirty trauma kits. They have trauma dressings, a triangle bandage, the basic essentials that you need for treating trauma injuries. They're only $10 on LA Police Gear's website, and I have a ton of these. I stash them in pockets, cargo pockets on my pants, in backpacks. They're great for a basic trauma first aid kit. I also carry this, which many of you may recognize. It's an Israeli bandage. These are great for gunshot wounds or deep penetrating trauma wounds because they are a compression bandage. So you can put pressure on your wound, and it's also got the ability to wrap gauze on there real good to absorb some of that bleeding. I carry different sizes of quick clot impregnated gauze bandages, so also good for major trauma, gunshots. These will stop bleeding so someone won't bleed out. This bag contains my medicine type stuff, so my antiseptic wipes. I've got tweezers in here, bite ointment, all that sort of thing. They're kind of similar in purpose, so I put them together in one bag. I also have a couple pairs of tweezers in here too, for removing stingers or splinters. Here is my new CPR mask. This is one of the full face masks. So much better, it's got a one-way valve on it. Much better for body substance isolation than the old flap plastic masks. Back here, I've got more gloves, so always have lots of gloves on hand. I've got a notepad. I've got a Sharpie. Sharpies are really great for marking down notes or for writing notes. If you have to, like, say something on a tree or leave a note for someone, Sharpies are great because they can write on pretty much everything. Then I've got a pen, and I've got some medical scissors in case I need to remove some bandages or clothes or something to access a wound site. Now, this front compartment here, I've got a cat tourniquet. So tourniquets are really good if you've got like an amputation or a major bleeding that you can't stop surely with pressure dressing or like quick clot alone, and that person's going to bleed out if I don't do something. So tourniquet is really good to have on hand. I also carry this as a container of Perel Anti-Bac. So out in the field, hygiene is really important, especially if you're working with injuries and wounds and body stuff. So having a good way to clean up is great. Now, I'm also into search and rescue, and I understand the importance of everyday carry and having survival capabilities whenever you're out and about. So this last front pouch here is completely devoted to survival stuff. I have a 550 cord bracelet here with a little compass on it. Now the compass is not super great, but you know, in a pinch it's still a compass. 550 cord too can be used for a variety of different things, from fire starting to fishing to making a shelter. So always good to have that stuff around. This is a little down and dirty fire starting kit. These are fire flares. Now most flares burn way too hot to be used effectively to start a fire. These burn at a little bit lower temperature, so you can use it for starting fires, but you can also use them as a conventional flare if you need to. These are storm matches, or waterproof matches. Storm matches are really the only way to go if you're building a kit, because they don't go bad as easy. Now, normal matches will get waterlogged and then you'll be out of luck. I also have a knife sharpener, so knives are really critical pieces of equipment. I carry multiples of them typically because each knife serves its own function, but it's important to keep them sharp, otherwise it's basically a paperweight. And then I carry a backup knife. Like I said, knives can have a lot of different functions, from survival to opening packages to cutting things, so it's always good to have at least one or two of these on you at all times. Now that brings me to my outside of the kit, and really the only thing I haven't really talked about is my EMS shears. A really critical thing to have if I need to cut a seatbelt or remove some clothing to access a wound site. Shears are the way to go. These are the quick and dirty, just generic EMS shears, and they fit perfectly in the MOLLE webbing of my pouch. The whole pouch just closes up and is extremely portable. I can take it wherever I need to go, and like I said, I can fit it inside my patrol bags, so it's kind of like my go-to medical kit, and that goes with me pretty much everywhere. Now that's my go bag. My everyday carry, goes in the car with me bag. But that's just for me. It's been tailored to my needs. So that's the most important thing, like I mentioned earlier in this video. When you're looking at building a go bag for your car or for work or whatever, you need to assess what are your needs and then build the kit accordingly. You can take example from others. There's lots of videos out there about how to create a go bag. You can look at some of the contents I have in there, but the basic essentials are: you want to have some survival gear in case you're stuck out there, an accident happens, you're not able to get back. Being able to start fire or build a shelter is really critical. And then of course medical equipment. Now you don't have to have things like Quick Clot or a tourniquet necessarily, especially if you don't have the training. You just need to have something that you can treat injuries, even minor injuries, of yourself or family members. So even the basic kits you can buy at the stores are a good place to start. So that's just a little bit about my Go kit and kind of my preferences for the kind of things that I want to have with me and readily available if I'm in an emergency. Alright, thank you, and see you next time on Kit Corner.
I hope you liked the video, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
We also have a couple other channels you may be interested in: Central Aid Agency and Rolling Thunder Operations.
And we hope to see you in the next video, and have a nice day.